Alright, welcome.
What's going on, fellow co-creators? Welcome again for another episode of Tales of Dordania. We are back at it and kind of giving everybody a recap from our last session. Everybody made it back to town, except for Hootie, who got sucked into a very, very deep, dark portal, and nobody knows where he's at. The only other issue that they had making their way back to town is that Kai is unconscious, and no one quite knows why. He won't wake up, and he is still breathing, is still alive, but nobody quite knows what's going on with him. Kieran, Behemoth, and Tarek, though, made it to town successfully. They've been trading some very, very nice wares that they collected throughout their mission, and also making some new friends throughout the shopkeeps, and collecting some nice bounties themselves as well. And where we specifically ended was Behemoth had just made a deal with Cryptera over in Cryptera Wares and claimed a dwarven thrower from her, which was pretty beast. And as he got this weapon, he made a very, very good persuasion check to kind of lower the price in turn for a favor from Cryptera. So Cryptera cashed his favor immediately and told Behemoth that he needed to take a certain crate to Ursos Arctos immediately. Don't look inside of it, just take it to him immediately across town. In his journey over to Ursos Arctos, he was stopped by Kieran. And Kieran, what's in the box? I mean, you gotta ask, what's in the box? And Behemoth wouldn't let him see, and so they got into a little bit of a tussle, which landed both of them flat on their face in the middle of town, with the crate tumbling pretty hard on the ground to about 5-10 feet in front of them. And Tarek has just walked up to this scene. Literally, the crate has landed at his toes. And he was just speaking with Theo and kind of getting some word on their potential next mission and some bigger things that are afoot throughout the realm. And that is where we will start. So Tarek, you just walked in on these guys and the crate's at your feet. So we'll start with you. What would you like to do?
What the frick is going on?
As I say, I'm trying to deliver this crate, and I elbow Kieran in the face.
As you elbow Kieran in the face, he doesn't respond. And he didn't even respond to Tarek either.
WTF.
And as you can tell, he's still breathing, but he's pretty unresponsive at the moment. What would you two like to do?
Kieran? Kieran!
Yeah, to make sure he's alive, I
Kieran.
guess.
As you start kind of shaking him, kind of tending to see kind of what's around, you kind of just swing him over there, yeah? Two soldiers come running from over where Theo's castle is. And as they kind of, come, they push the crate over to the side, and they kind of run in between you both, and they say, did he just drop down a couple moments ago?
Indeed, he did.
And they start checking out Kieran as well. And as they do, one of the soldiers looks to you, Terry, and he says, Theo sent us. He was watching the whole thing. He said not to worry, to talk to him tomorrow when you meet up with him to figure out what happens. But we need to take this guy now, back to the castle.
Okay then.
Okay.
All right.
So they grab him and they hurry. I mean, they run back to the castle. Amidst everyone else party and all that kind of good stuff, they run Kieran back to the castle because Theo apparently was watching what was happening and saw that he was not responsive to getting back up. Now, as this has just happened, what would you guys like to do?
I need to deliver this crate to Octos Arturos.
Don't see the edge. Gazing.
Behemoth, you do your thing.
Yeah, I need to deliver this crate. So,
I respect your desire to do your job.
well, I appreciate that. Thank you, and not fighting me and just letting me do my job. So I bring the dang crate and stuff.
And you bring the dang crate inside Ursos Arctos shop. And as you do, Ursos, is kind of in the back. Hey, hello there. Welcome to my shop.
Yeah, I have this crate. It's a delivery from our neighbor down the street here.
Neighbor.
Oh, yeah, Jim, I forget her name every time.
The neighbor I have is you for the late Miss Iago.
No, it's the weaponsmith gal. It's,
Cryptera!
Yes,
You're
that's
talking
the one.
about Cryptera, yes. Wait a minute. Is this my special package?
I mean, she didn't tell me what's in it. I didn't look at it. I just brought you the package.
Oh, just come pop it right over here under this table.
All right.
And as you guys kind of walk into the shop, you walk back to the main kind of desk table that he has, and then he does all this kind of transactions and whatnot. And as you guys kind of walk in there, he grabs a little hammer and a little mallet, and he starts to go ahead and opening up his crate. And as Ursos Arctos opens up his crate, he gasps. What have you done, boy?
I didn't do anything. I just tried to deliver the crate.
By throwing it around town, apparently. And as he tips the crate over, you see, like, it looks like something that was organic, and it looked very, kind of like in a sack. Red, kind of, a little bit glowing. It looks like someone's just like popped it, and it's like smeared kind of all throughout the inside of the crate. And the wood is kind of singed all inside the crate as well, where these kind of weird goo is kind of splattered. On top of that, there's like 3 potion containers that have been broken, and the contents is spilled and soaked up throughout the wood as well. So there's 3 potions, you don't know what type of potions these are, that have been broken, and some other organic something that has
Well,
been
and my only
smushed as
explanation
well.
to him is I was attacked in the middle of town, just
On Celebration Day?
broad daylight. I mean, come on. I was pretty much mugged by this little midget.
A midget, you say?
Yeah, he's a midget. He had gold on him already. I wonder why he's so greedy.
Midgets don't come throughout these parts.
Well, I'm just telling you what happened. The guards saw him, nearly saw him attack me, then they dragged him out to the castle.
So the guards have this man in custody.
Yeah, they've got him.
I'm sorry for you being attacked.
And I'm sorry for breaking what was over in the box. I was just trying to bring it from one door to another.
Well, I see that, but the fact remains that my contents is broken.
Well, look, I'll make you a deal.
I need it replaced.
Okay, well, is there any way I can replace it for you?
Yes, if you and your party could head out maybe, I don't know, tomorrow around dawn and find me a new Cinder Spider magma sack and potentially get a couple of vials of magma ant blood, I would be very, very inclined to forgive this, and I'd even pay you for your troubles, a fair wager for your troubles of seeking out the contents. But I need it. I need these things for my experience.
Okay, I'm fair with that. Can we work another deal as well? I know you. Did you finish my loot, by the way? I was just asking.
It's still in the chamber.
Okay, well, I have
Be ready around tomorrow morning before you head out for your mission for the Cinder Spiders.
All right, well, I've got another project for you. I got this here, vampire steak.
I'm always up for
I
a
noticed
challenge.
there's a lot of vampires around town, and I feel like I'm naked without one.
Who do you think I am, son?
Well, yeah, I know, but, you're a nice vampire.
As most people are in this town.
Well, but
That's
I've
why I
met
see
some
you
that
as an
weren't,
insult.
okay? I've met some that tried to kill me, so...
Fair enough.
I need a steak that can, fend off some of these vampires, because they're undead. I mean, I've tried killing them, it's hard.
Are you trying to get a blessed, enchanted steak?
Yes, I am.
Like, those are kind of banished throughout our shops. We're not really
But
inclined to sell
it's like walking through Harlem without a gun. I don't have...
Your best bet would be to talk to Theo about such.
Well,
such
fine. I'll
matters.
talk to him about that.
I'm not permitted to enhance such things.
All right, well, that's fine. I can understand that. Well, then I'll just wait on my loot, and I'm sorry about the crate. I'll see what I can do to fix the problem.
I expect you to return to me with haste.
All right.
Thank you, sir. And he kind of waves you off as you kind of exit the shop and everything.
And as Behemoth exits the shop, a little disappointed about how things went there with Ursos, he knows he needs to find Tarek and let him know kind of what's going on, and that before they head off to whatever next quest Theo has, he really needs to make amends and make things right for Ursos and replace the busted Cinder Spider sack and the magma blood that was destroyed in his tussle with Kieran. And so he goes throughout town, making a couple other stops. Meanwhile, Tarek is in a couple other shops as well, cashing in on a couple things that they got from their mission, and also getting a couple items for himself, some potions and other things that he needs to cast some of his druidic spells of that nature. And once they're done, they kind of find each other and link up.
What do in town? Because I got a side quest we need to take care of. I tell him about Kieran breaking the stuff in the box, and now we gotta go replace it because he put me in a bind. He put me in a position.
What do you say about that?
Freaking leprechaun.
Right? Like, greedy little
leprechauns,
punks.
dude.
Like, all I did was say, look, man, I gotta deliver the box. And he had to get greedy and just grab on and
What's in the box?
just kill her. So we need to take care of this debt so that we, like, don't make any enemies in town. That would be terrible.
After hearing of this news, Tarek agrees that yes, it would be very good for them to replace the contents that were destroyed, and so they agree to set out and get this new magma cinder spider sack as well as some new magma ant blood. And first, though, they try to go over to Theo's castle to talk with him and are met at the entrance by two guards, and they tell them that no one under any circumstance is allowed in the castle tonight, and that Theo is apparently working some crazy spell casting or something to try to remedy what happened to Kai and Kieran. And so they're told to come back to the castle first thing in the morning and that they can seek somewhere else in town for refuge for the evening. And so they decide to go over to Lou's Tavern and they enjoy a little bit of the party and celebration that's still going on there. And before the night closes out and all the rooms are taken, they go ahead and buy 2 rooms at the inns behind Lou's Tavern. And they go ahead and hit the hay for the evening and waking up quite early the next morning, making their way back over to Theo's castle to see if they are now able and permitted back into the castle. And they actually run into Construct, who is one of the vampiric guards that the party has met a couple times now throughout town. And Construct goes ahead and informs them about this when he sees them at the entrance of the castle.
What's up, Construct? Hey, Behemoth, it's great to see you. I'm glad you had a great night, it seems. Theo hasn't really said much, but as soon as this guy went to go grab your friend and brought him back to the castle, everything was on lockdown. We were told no one could come in or out. The party, everyone who was left in there had to stay in there overnight. Theo hasn't really said much other than the fact that no one's allowed in. We did get word this morning from Natiri. She's back up now and moving about and kind of in charge of the castle. And she's, healed kind of from her wounds in battle. She let us know that Theo is allowing certain people to enter the castle right now. I believe you both are on the list. And as you guys enter, Theo's back's just turned to you. He's just kind of gazing out over everything and Castle Mars. And just further throughout the land of Helicardia, and Theo kind of turns over his shoulder and kind of looks back, and I said, I ask you both to come look by his side. And you kind of both approach. As you both are kind of looking out over, the kingdom, and you're seeing everything you guys were kind of seeing throughout, the land and through stuff. Theo asks you both, what do you see?
Lose and some houses and stuff.
A bunch of people passed out. Some people not passed out. Some people working. Nice pretty well.
You want to know what I see?
What do you see, sir?
I see my kingdom. I see people excited for what is in store, the prosperity that we have. And at the same time as I see all these things, this realm is beyond in danger. And this could not be a worse time for them all to have existed in and to be living through. There are dark things afoot throughout this realm, and there is much more repercussions to killing Dracula than I first anticipated. What you guys see here, I'd like to keep and preserve and expand upon. But I need help protecting that and others who think like I do. Your friend, Kieran, was cursed. This curse was passed down to him from Kai, and by helping Kai back to town. Being that he's a leprechaun is the best explanation that I have been able to come up with as to why he would have been affected from this curse as well, being that Kieran is not a monk. Kai, however, is. And as I was telling you, Terry, the monastery has most definitely been under attack. This curse has been placed not only on, I believe, the monastery, but any monks still living. And it has rendered them useless. I mean, they're incapacitated. I have been doing everything in my power to make sure that this curse does not transmit to anyone else, who is of magical nature or properties, like myself or some of the other people throughout Alacardia, because I do not need anything else dropping like Kieran has on you all suddenly. They are both in containment. I'm seeing to them both and trying to render a solution or remedy to get them back on their feet and to where they can help you venture to the monastery, for I fear it will need all of you to see what's going on over there, and you'll need that kind of a backup. In the meantime, I also heard from Ursos Arctos, and he kind of looks down at you, Behemoth,
What did I do?
that you were most jumped in the streets by Kieran. His unfortunate mindset, I believe, had some effect on his decisions in doing so and attacking you.
You know, I'll make that decision when I see him not robbing me next time.
And you have every right to, but from what I can tell, it seems like he was affected by this curse.
I mean, I'll take that into
Now,
consideration.
Urso still needs his arrangements and his property back, and I believe he's arranged it with you to go and receive these things. My goal is, by the time you return, to have both Kieran and Kai remedied so they can help you go to High Oak Forest, check out the monastery, see what's going on over there. And for you, Behemoth, that you do not know, back in when this realm was first created, thousands and thousands of years ago, powers that be, the first orc throughout this land, his name was Ramaksu. He became a very, very, very powerful warlock, sorcerer, wizard, mage. Every label of the book, he went ahead and sought out and claimed the title of it, and was one of the founders of a lot of the magic that is being used still to this day throughout this realm. Many people looked up to him, and he had a very, very, very grand ruling throughout his kingdom over in the land of Scatterdash before it became as what it is known as today. In his conjurings and in his manifestations, he made an orb as a seeing orb. The way it works is the user, after looking into the orb, can view whatever their greatest desire or heart's desire is. Whatever your heart is purely seeking and truly after, it'll show you where or how to find it and retrieve it. The orb has been protected by the monks in the monastery for thousands of years. And I believe that whoever has attacked them is seeking the orb to locate the other soul stones that Dracula has, and hopes to still resurrect him in a further state.
I get it, because that's what his heart wants.
But he might be becoming so wise. I'm so proud.
He's growing up so much.
I'm like a week old. I'm doing good.
You're doing well. Yes, well.
Well, yes.
We'll
Now-
work on the grammar, but it's
What's
all,
grammar?
It's coming, right?
It's all coming. It's all coming.
There you go, too. What's
Now,
grammar?
at the monastery, the High Master Ramush, who has mastered the 3 ways of the monk, has been in charge for about the last 600 years or so.
What was his name?
His name is Ramush.
Ramush.
Yeah, Ramash.
It's raw and it's mushy.
Ramush.
Now,
I'm just
Ramush's
speaking with my accent.
other 3 masters, who each head the 3 ways of the monk, are Master Shen, Master Bendu, and Master Kensu. If any of them are alive, help them and offer to them that they may come back with you to Castle Mars in Solitation, to remain in solitaire while we are handling this threat, and that I can offer them the protection. Ramush knows me. I've known him for a good 50 years or so. The other masters I've met only in passing. Now, once you get back from slaying your cinder spiders and your magma ants, please come back to the castle and I will let you know how your friends are doing. And being that you are down in your numbers, I would like Natiri to go with you and seeking after the cinder spiders.
Nice.
and the Magma Ants. Guest star appearance from my wife again. Woo, 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 go play Natiri tonight. Say what? Let me see your character. As Theo says Natiri is going to be accompanying you guys. It's like she was just waiting behind the curtains on cue. She just walks up the staircase onto the rooftop, and y'all turn around, and you see Natiri, and she looks like she's been slaying some mad vamps in this battle. She got a crazy scar down like her whole left arm. Like it looks like it's just been ripped up, okay? She also has this beast of a sword on her hip now that is new from the last time you guys both saw her. And it seems to be, a pretty decent handle, not too ornate, nothing too flashy. But as it goes into the blade is about 2.5 inches, thick. And it kind of comes up into a straight column for about a foot. And then there's a nice wicked half circle curve up to a spike kind of at the top. And this weapon looks like it's made for just cleaving off arms, heads, and any other members or parts of the body. And Natiri kind of gives everyone a smirk as she kind of, enters the arena, and she's just ready to just kind of wreck some people and kind of do some stuff. So, as Theo kind of lets you all know that you can do this now, and that you all need to go down and take care of these things and these promised gifts back to Urso, what would you guys like to do?
I want to say to Theo, well, just praise the Creator. We don't have the curse that these other guys do. COVID. And we walk out the door.
I like it. As Theo looks at you, he says, yes, praise be to the Creator, Behemoth. And you both kind of walk down the staircase, and you guys are out the door, back down to the base floor, and out the door to the base floor. I'm just rhyming that up, dude. And as you guys make your way back into the streets, looking oh so clean and neat, making your way through town, gonna kind of find out what's going down. Gonna make your way throughout, find some cinder spiders about. And we're gonna see what you can do. Slay them spiders through and through. Now, as you guys, make your way kind of out of
town. Luckily for them, Natiri was told to go on this mission with them by Theo to kind of aid them on their quest, since Kai and Kieran were still back recovering at the castle. And so the three of them set out from town. It took about 1.5 hours to 2 hours before they found 3 magma ants. And all of a sudden, after tracking them for about maybe a quarter of a mile, 3 cinder spiders revealed themselves, and a crazy battle then took place. I mean, things were happening left and right. Behemoth was trying to take out the cinder spiders. Meanwhile, Tarek was really struggling with keeping Abaddon restrained, and Abaddon kept coming back out and getting forced in and out and in and out and in, and he got fed up with it and ended up actually attacking Natiri, and they started fighting for a little bit until he finally got fed up with that, changed his gaze over to Behemoth, jumped on the little guy, and attempted to roast this chicken nugget to a crisp. Luckily for him, Natiri stopped him and smacked Abaddon so hard she literally forced the demon back into the temporal soul state within Tarek's body. So lucky for Tarek and Behemoth, Natiri was there. After that, only a few moments later, they were able to slay the remainder of the cinder spiders, and yes, they did get the cinder spider sack and some magma ant blood that they are going to then return back to town, but they decided to take a little bit of a short rest first. And with that, that is actually where we're going to end tonight. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Tales of Dordania.